eso. Ready? Break, break. Yeah. Well, good morning. Oh my goodness, it is really early morning. It's early. I guess early is relative to what you think is early. But I woke up this morning to do my morning pages, and it's like nearing the end of March. We're at the end of March, and we've had +5, +9, and now we have this. Howdy! Howdy! Whoops. I haven't been recording in a while, although I haven't missed a beat in terms of my work, but I haven't been recording. As I told you, my mom is still here, and we're really having a good time. Oh, and this is what I'm wearing today, because I thought I'd be a little whimsical. So I'm wearing a dress. So I'm wearing a summer dress, and underneath I'm wearing a winter skirt, so that I can wear my summer dress, because it really is, we're basically in spring, and we're having this. Oh my gosh, he's so happy. Anyways, y'all, I have been kind of taking a break. I mean, I don't know, that sounds really ridiculous because I've only been doing this for like a short little while, but I'm kind of taking a break from, being regimented in terms of, doing the videos. And I'm just spending more time with, chatting on the phone with my friends and chatting with my mom until like 12 o'clock at night. And it's funny what you can learn when you just sit and chat with people. I was chatting with my girlfriend yesterday, and this is a girlfriend I've known for donkey's ages. I mean, we've known each other since we were little kids. And not tiny kids, but kids. And I thought to myself, as I was writing this morning, I thought to myself, there's a reason why I moved away. And the reason was the chaos around me was too much. Too much for me, too much for my mind, too much for my body. And I moved away, and I was very worried that I would wake up one morning, like today, and maybe not look around and go, wow. And that hasn't happened yet. In fact, what's happening is the opposite right now. And I guess because I am choosing to do this and talk about it, it allows me to really look at, how I'm thinking. When you walk away from the chaos, and this was kind of brought up yesterday because we took Herbie yesterday into a town an hour out, because this town that is an hour out is where he has to get all of his pre-operation stuff done because he's going to have an operation. So we got there, and this doctor kind of also, it's, sometimes what I find here is that when I think of something, all these other things come up. And I'm able to really go, like, I was thinking that, and then this came up, and this confirmed what I was thinking, or denied what I was thinking, conflicted with what I was thinking, and it kind of puts me on a different path of thinking. But this doctor, was asking us, who are we to him, blah, 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 and getting our background, and we started telling him about the fact that, we're from the South, and we moved here, and you know what he said? He said, yeah, it's chaotic down there, isn't it? Because he lived down there as well for some time, and his children lived there, kind of like mine. And he also said, if you're looking for peace of mind, in terms of like, not peace of mind that you're secure, but peace of mind that, you can think, you're not going to regret it. And that's one of the things that I was thinking. Oh, let's check where he is here. This is like a little, ooh, not a good time to come. Whoa, it's slippery here. I slipped here. This is where Odie. Hey, there you are. You're constantly exploring. I'm going to have to knock this thing down. We're going to take it down because we want to take the tin off of this. And as I was talking to the doctor, one thing came to mind. And then as I was talking to my girlfriend of many, 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 many years, oh, look at that. I realized this morning when I was doing my morning pages, as I was thinking about, our talk yesterday and kind of what's going on in her life, what's going on in my life, the regular things that, sorry, I gotta adjust you guys, regular things that, girls talk about. This stupid thing, I gotta get a new one. Or maybe I just don't know how to use it. Like, maybe it's just like beyond my scope of understanding. And as we were talking, I thought to myself, I don't think I made a mistake, because the things that I talk about with 99% of my friends is surface things like, what they bought, where they're going, what vacation they're planning. What other things do we talk about? We talk about hairstyles, or what we're going to do with our hair, or what we're going to do this summer, or what party we're going to be attending, what party we attended. Yeah, there are some, personal things, obviously, that we talk about, our husbands, as women do, or at least that's what me and my friends do. We talk about our husbands, our lives. These things that are significant. They're significant, and they're necessary to talk about, because that's life, right? We have to live through our life. But what I realized is, like in The Matrix, the movie, and also like in Cutting Through the Matrix with Alan Watt, the podcast or the talks that he talks about. Oh, look at these little cute little tracks. They're not my dogs. I am walking beside another soul that walked through here at a different time, and we both walked this path. But like in the movie and what Alan talks about, I'm going to be a snowman by the time I'm done, which is wonderful. There are people, and I would say, and I would think that the majority of these examples are people that believe and are very invested in the system that we live in. And I'm not saying that I am somehow chosen or better or... Hi! Were you taking a shortcut? Were you taking a shortcut? Such a good boy. Let's go. But what I am saying is that people that believe in the system, that guard the system, that utilize the system unknowingly, are plugged in, so to speak. And for example, I can't talk to 98% of my friends about the political nightmare that we are about to see unleashed on us. I can't talk to them about current affairs of what's happening with the WAR, because we are already deep inside the WAR, but most people that are invested in the system, that trust the system, are naive in believing that the system is designed for them. And if I were to tell them otherwise, I am considered a weirdo, a conspiracy theorist, a negative Nelly. And just in general, when you have a different view of the world, of the system, when your view is that the system is designed not to help, granted, it does appear that way. It is more so a control mechanism in which the system is able to control your moves, your choices, your thinking, and also steer you in the direction that the system needs you to go. So if they need you to stomp right, they need to provide you with a situation where you will naturally stomp right and appear that you had made that decision, and nothing could be further from the truth. And for years, I would struggle to, especially when I first started kind of looking around going, wait a minute, I don't think this is right. I'm not sure what's going on here, but the system looks rigged. And then I discovered Alan and Alan's work, and something just clicked into place. And when that happened, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I know something that I don't think anybody, like most of my friends didn't know. And I was so excited. I was wanting to share. I wanted to share with everybody what I learned. And I wanted to tell people, oh my God, did you notice this? I just stumbled on this and I didn't realize. Did you realize? And if you didn't, look. And I would say for the last 20 years, I started realizing, it took me 20 years. I think, mention this in my many other videos, that I'm a slow learner. I think I'm being facetious because I don't think I am a slow learner, but I'm a slow learner in terms of people. In terms of people, I give people so many opportunities and chances to correct their behavior towards me, that sometimes it's to my detriment. I am learning, though. I am learning to adjust that. And when I would go to people for the last 20 years, I would work tirelessly to try to show them, to showcase what I've learned. Look here, look, you can go into the documents. Look, you can read this book, and this book from 1920 or 1930 or 1864, the Constitution, the Bible, the Torah. I can go on. These are all documents. They're not prophecies. They're plans. And when I would tell people this, and when I would tell them when I saw something happening, I'd be like, but okay, this is happening, but do you understand to what end? I was met with Hi! Hello! Hi, my baby. Yeah, all right, let's go. I was met with, no, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go this way, okay? He gets so happy when we go out. I was just telling my mom, just what a treat to have Odie in my life. There's just so many things that have happened that I now understand I had to go through, and this is one of the things I had to go through. And so I was met with not only resistance, but I would say quiet ridicule. And I guess the other feeling I got from people is, what would be the word? I was looked upon for many years, for most of my friendships, because I ostensibly I've been talking about this for about 25 years. It's when I discovered Allard. And I was just known as, that friend that, it was ridicule, but with love. I'm not saying that my friends none of my friends ever treated me badly. I'm a pretty strong personality, so, I wasn't like bullied or anything like that, because I love my friends. I love my friends, and my friends, I think, love me. And that's why they put up with me. That's the other thing. Like, all this to say, I have great friends because they think I'm a quack. In the most loving way, too. In the most loving way. It's not a ridicule that comes from a bad place. It's a ridicule that comes from like, okay, you're fine. Yeah. Okay, you go ahead and think whatever you want. We're all allowed to think what we're allowed to think. That kind of ridicule. And, sometimes we can, actually everything melted. Not everything, obviously, not everything, but everything started melting, and there's ice under here because it was, like I said, it was plus, and so much had gone down. But then you wake up to a winter wonderland. It's just, nature's just gorgeous. I digress, and a squirrel just went through my head. But I realized that sometimes we can hear something 1,000 times and we're just not ready to hear it. And if I can go back to the documentary, The Matrix, Morpheus says, you can't wake up anyone who is still plugged in. Now, of course, that's a metaphor, because we're not physically plugged into anything. But people are so dependent, so believing in the system, that they might as well be physically plugged in. And when you try to shake them out of their belief and out of their commitment to the system, you are endangering the very foundation of their beliefs. And I now, after now going on 25 years, realize that it is dangerous, because what you're doing is you are literally trying to shake the foundation of their beliefs, and they have built their whole life on it. And you are not being respectful of the fact that they are not ready. They're not ready to hear it. They don't want to, in fact. In fact, you're going to be met with resistance that you don't even understand why. Because I didn't understand why. People were not willing to... They were just not willing to hear the truth. As I had discovered it. I had stumbled onto something that I feel we all as humans should know. And I have realized today, while I was doing my morning pages, that about 4 years ago, kind of when my cousin was diagnosed and when she started subsequently going downhill, that I gave up on doing that. I finally understood, and I finally heard, it came through my ears and actually stuck in my brain, that Alan said, stop. Do not attempt to wake people up unless they ask to be awakened. And for the last, I would say 3 years wholeheartedly, I have started and adopted that way of speaking to people. And as I started adopting that, I started realizing how alone I was in my views, and how alone I was. And how you're good boy. Oh my God, you just knocked me out nearly. This kid is so funny. He gets so excited when we go. And as I started realizing that, there was no reason to stay in the chaos, because most people were living in the same area as I was, but they were living in a completely different belief system within that area. And that put us worlds apart. And I love my friends. I love chatting with them. I love visiting them when I go there. But now I respect their choice. I respect their choice to be plugged in. I respect that they have chosen to be in the system, defend the system, and believe in the system that I do not. Well, I do, but not in the same vein. I believe that the system is there to control us. I believe that the system is there to do what it must with us. And the things that the system must do with us is, let's go, is not very savory. And so when I think about having to have moved out here, and all my friends are enjoying plus 17 degree weather, I'm envious, but I'm grateful, because I have this. You hear that? Although I can hear a big truck somewhere, because I don't know what that is, if that's a train or a truck. For the most part, it's like, yeah, you hear nothing. That's what I was thinking this morning as I was doing my morning pages. And I thought to myself, if you see the system for what it really is, you should really be planning an exit strategy. Because I do feel that if you see the system, you need to be able to somehow unplug from it. And to unplug from it, you almost have to step away from the people you love and give yourself that space to begin thinking. And the birds this week have been incredible. Because it's spring, but yeah, Mother Nature didn't get the memo. But from what I understand, it's supposed to be really warm in the next week. So we'll be losing this. And I just had to come out. It's like 7:30 probably now. I came out when it was still quite dark. And I'm so glad that I am now okay with being alone, with this knowledge of where we kind of stand. But it's going to get hard, I believe, based on the timeline that I believe we're in. Because see, you can understand things, you can know things, but timelines are never up to you. You can only see the clouds rolling in. You don't know how long before the storm, but you can see the storm. And it's not a question of if we will all start seeing the system, but more a question of when. And there's a lot of people that I follow quite religiously. One of them is being the Canadian Prepper, and Neil McCoy Ward, or Neil Ward McCoy, and Johnny Bravo. He's a really good one. I love Johnny Bravo. Now, he does a video every single day. He's amazing. I actually don't know how he does it. And he's hilarious. I think I got my mom hooked on him. I'm hoping, because anywhere I can spread the word about people that are also trying to gently wake people up. Not like I used to. I used to, hey, oh my gosh, do you know what's happening? Are you aware of what's happening? Have you any idea? That's not the right way of doing it. And now I realize that. Being up here gives me permission and room to think, to look around and say, wow, this is what life is. Not running around being lost in our own brains because we're worried about this bill and that bill. And that, my friends, is done by design. Whether you believe it or not, it is done by design. But I don't know if this video made any sense, because I didn't really think it through, but I figured I'll just roll, because I wanted to show you the last hurrahs of winter, Mother Nature painting the forest, covering it in silence one last time. I don't know how many storms we're going to have like this anymore, because we're really just entering April. April's just around the corner. I will be going, down south again, and I will be sporting all of my summer wear. but I figured I'd take my cool hat that I bought at the secondhand store. I'm trying a couple of different things. I'm toying around with a couple of different things, like reselling clothes, used clothes, of course, because I love to go thrifting. But I'm not sure how that's going to go. To be continued. But yeah, if you have a chance to really stop and look around you, and really look around you and really start understanding whether or not you live in a system that works for you. And I don't mean whether or not you make money in the system that is not working for you. How is your health? How is your mental health? How are your relationships with people? How is your listening to yourself? Can you hear yourself? Do you know what you're saying? These are important questions. Can you go for a walk in the morning with your loved one, your dog, or even your cat? These are important things, and we may or may not have time to ponder these things, especially with Mr. Muskie telling us he's going to put a chip in our head. If he's going to do that, there isn't going to be another season where you can do this. There isn't going to be another season where you can have an opportunity to question the system and your belief of it. But until that time, we still have time. We still have time to ponder and ask the question. If you're ever in and around the neighborhood of the internet, I encourage you to go and listen to Alan, because Alan is the Morpheus of our time. And I don't say that lightly, because, you know, stars and idols are not a wise thing to be getting yourself into. But if you want information, he's like an encyclopedia, but gets to the point, and he speaks English. And I mean English, like layman's sheeple English that we can understand. Anyways, look at this. Isn't this great? I must be a snowman. Anyways, that's it for today. I wanted to show you this beauty. Wherever you are, I hope it's at least this beautiful, or I hope that you're able to enjoy whatever beauty is presented in front of you, and not let the system steal your time away from being able to appreciate what you do have in front of you, and what opportunities you have to breathe in nature and the people you love around you, and the pleasures of life, given that they are pleasures that are not of the evil variety. Anyway, I've been babbling now, so I'm gonna go, but have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.